Let's look at some spinal cord anatomy. This picture is going to look at a longitudinal section, then I'll flip over to just a cross section of the spinal cord. I want to just show you some of the basic structures because I think a lot of us are familiar with the spinal cord, but a lot of us don't know that the spinal cord stops growing about age 4 to 5, but typically by the time you're 5 years old, we're done growing the spinal cord. And then the vertebrae will grow further around it, but then we have these extensions that come off of it. And that's what I highlighted here called the Cauda Equina, which is referring to the horse's tail. When we look at the spinal cord, it actually goes down to around L1, L2, meaning where the lumbar 1 or lumbar 2 vertebrae are, is where that growth stops. Where it stops, you'll end up with this little tip called a conus medullaris, which is the end of the spinal cord technically. Conus medullaris, so right down the middle, it's supposed to look like a cone. To me, it just looks like a triangle. So the end of the spinal cord is conus medullaris. From there, it'll branch off in all of these nerve extensions called the Cauda Equina. And I expanded that over here. If we look at our lumbar vertebrae, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, you can start to see running through there is the Cauda Equina that's coming out even through the sacral canal. It's called Cauda Equina because it looks like a horse's tail. In between it, which I can't see very well on here, but the very middle strand, right down the middle, is called the Filum Terminale. So the Filum Terminale is just a support extension that runs right down the middle. So if I take all of this, it's all Cauda Equina, which is nervous function, except for the very middle strand that runs right down the middle, that's called Filum Terminale. And that's an extension of our pia mater to help stabilize the spinal cord. When I look at the extensions coming off of it, then we're looking at all of either ventral ramus or dorsal rami, which are extensions coming off the spinal cord, but these are all spinal nerves, so that's where I have the ventral ramus, to where I have some of my intercostal, sometimes you'll hear thoracic nerves, but my intercostal referring in between the ribs. Then I start to come down, you'll start to see some of my leg ones, the femoral nerves, and then also branching into sciatic. On this side, I can see sciatic very strong here on the posterior view. This is my largest nerve in the body. As we look at this, but then we can take a cross section and better understand the functionality of the spinal cord. So if I go to the next piece and I look at a cross section, so we're looking at the spinal cord, there's no vertebrae here, and down below is histology of it, and I gave you a key to go with it. But as we look at the posterior side, if we remember when we covered our same and our Dave, we learned those mnemonics, and I said that the Dave is referring to dorsal side as my afferent. Afferent is our sensory. The V is our ventral, which is our efferent, D-A-V-E, our Dave. Dorsal is afferent, ventral is efferent, meaning when I receive sensory information, it goes through and I come in through a ramus. In this case, this is a ventral ramus, and it'll hit a dorsal root ganglion. Remember, a ganglion is a group of cell bodies because this is part of the neuron. Dorsal root ganglion. My cell bodies for the ventral side are within the spinal cord itself, so there is no ganglion on the ventral side. Dorsal root ganglion, and then I hit dorsal root, so these nerve fibers that come in. As I turn in, I go to the dorsal side, and what I hit is my dorsal horn, or dorsal gray horn. And this is referring to this butterfly inside. All of this is dorsal horn, number 7. Then I have lateral horn, which is we see primarily for the autonomic nervous system, and then ventral horn, number 9. So all of this is referring to the horns, that butterfly that we see inside. Around it, then I see the columns, and these are white columns, and white referring to they have myelin to them. When I look at these, they're going to have tracts. A tract is a group of axons. When we look in the peripheral nervous system, based on our definitions, we said peripheral nervous system, a group of axon creates a nerve. In the central nervous system, meaning the spinal cord in this case, the columns are the tracts, and those are a group of axons. So the elevator up and down to the brain. So 3, 4, and 5 referring to white columns. So I have posterior, lateral, and anterior white column. Once I come out of the spinal cord on the ventral side, then I hit the ventral root that's going to go right back out the same rami that we came in with. So depending on what we're sensing or where we're going, as we describe it, sensory information goes to the dorsal side. I have that reflex that occurs and I react through the ventral side. I'll go up to the brain for that higher thought, that memory, that emotion to what happened, so I can remember things, so I can learn for the purpose of survival. So as I look at this, we're looking at a cross-section of the spinal cord that we took away from that longitudinal view on the previous picture. This is describing the basic spinal cord structures.